Hello and welcome back to part 13. We've almost finished now. Uh, the last thing we've got to do is this strip lighting. What I've done, I've gone round these sort of trenches around the top of the wall tiles, and I've just added the polish. If I hide it, you'll see that was what was there before. It's like just like a small opening, really, just set back from the from the uh, from the wall tiles. So what I did, I've basically just stuck a poly on. So if you look at the other side, that's the same. If I hide that, that was the sort of cavity that was there originally. Excuse me. So over in the shader tree there, this is made up of two materials. The trench that was there, which is called the ceiling light underscore back, and then there's just this poly on the top, which is just going to be like a frosted glass. And what I've done, I'm not actually going to do it for this render because this is a daytime render, but this is more for you guys if you want to play about with this at home. What I also did is I just created basically a cylinder light there, and I'll turn that on. Let's just make sure visibility options, we've got lights turned on. Show lights. Let's go over and just turn this light on. It's basically just sitting in this trench here. If I go over to the model view, you'll see it. There's the actual trench, and that's basically just sitting in there. And what I did property wise is just I put the sample, took off simple shading. If not, even though it's a cylinder light the whole length of the wall, you'll see the light sort of emanating from the sort of a pivot point in the center there. So just take off simple shading, and I had to bump the samples up a bit from 64 to 100 just because it was quite noisy. Area lights and that do tend to be a bit noisy at times. So then what I was going to do then for a night shot is just copy and paste that, or make an instance, sorry, and bung one in there, and then bung one in there, and then bung a little one in there as well. So back over to the shed, but like I say, we don't really need it for this daytime scene we're doing there. They'll be basically disabled anyway, so I'm not going to go around and put them in. I'm just going to just do it for this one here. Okay, so back over in the shader tree, the back is nothing drastic at all. That's just going to be a white sort of. I'm just going to bump up the diffuse there, and I'm just going to take these just down to 0. It's just basically a white backing, and that's all. The glass is just going to be a frost type glass, so I'm just going to put the diffuse down to 100 to 0 there. I'm going to turn on the conserve energy. Nothing else is really changing that much. The specular's coming down to 2 and the Fresnel's up to 50. The specular colour can be left at white. I'm just going to take it off white slightly. Roughness, I'm going to bring that right down to 5, and then the reflection amount 2, and then 50 again for the Fresnel. And the only other thing we really need to do, nothing too drastic here, in the tab, I don't know, I'm hoping this is in the screen capture. If not, right at the bottom there's a checkbox to click called double-sided. I'm just going to check that just because the material's got no depth. It is just a single face, like a square poly there. So I'm just going to turn on double-sided. And then for the transparency, to make it obviously glass, I'm just going to put 100% transparent on. And now you can see the light, the tube light inside, and the white backing. The colour, I'm just going to just move it off very slightly. Refractive index, I'm going to put up to 1.53, and then the roughness 5%, which is quite it's quite high. Even it doesn't seem quite high there. If you look at the docs, 5% gives you quite a nice rough. The refractive rays, you probably might be able to bring that down as opposed to go up, because to be honest, not much is going to be seen here. So what I'm going to do quickly is I'm just going to go over to the render tab, and hit render. And straight away I'm just going to hit abort on this. And then I'm just going to drag a little box. And whilst you're dragging the box, you can see up here, you'll see it refreshing the part you're looking at. So I'm just going to put it over this corner just so we can see. Okay, and I'm just going to hit render again. So I'm hoping this won't take too long. But you can see it in here, you can see the light coming out. So when you do your night shots, just do a check, like turn off the, well, don't actually turn off the sunlight, just try and make it more of a sort of moony type blue type light, quite low level. The actual area light that sits outside the window can be tweaked as well. And then there's enough light with this strip here and these strips there to actually light the whole scene. So you can see here, you can't actually see the tube light anymore, but you can see it emanating nicely across the ceiling. So that's for your night shot there. Okay. But I'm going to turn that cylinder light off because just for the day shot. Okay, so that's come to the end of this tutorial set pretty much now. Everything is surfaced. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to, up here where the final colour is, I'm going to add a new layer. If I can find it, render output. I'm going to start by just aborting this render, clicking anywhere in the viewport just to bring it up. I'm going to change this one over to ambient occlusion. And then for the actual preview window here, I'm going to turn the effect over here to ambient occlusion. And this is just going to bake an ambient. When we do the final render now, it will basically just output these three things: an alpha layer, a final color, and an ambient occlusion. Now, when it comes to post-processing, there's so much you can do with it. There's so many different layers and outputs you can put on. But for this, we're just going to do a couple of basic ones. So at the moment, you can't really see a great deal in there. So what we're basically looking for now, we're looking to try and get an overall nice something we can use. Maybe 16 inches. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to put up the raise to 200 just to try and eradicate most of the noise. Okay. We'll change this effect back to final color output. And if you want to see the alpha, you can change this to alpha. But you can add any number of different outputs there. Depth as the final color. Specular density, shadow normals. But we'll deal with that more in later tutorials. So that's the end of this tutorial now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do some renders. I'll move the camera in and do some close-ups of various things. And I'll put all the final outputs in the image directory you've been given there, so you can take a look at the final outcome. And you can see what the ambient occlusion layer looks like, etc. So thank you for watching these tutorial sets. It's been great to have you on board. And I look forward to seeing you again in the next Modo set. So thanks for watching, and good luck with Modo. Bye for now.